So, I still haven't seen three of the nominees for Best Picture, but for me, Judas and the Black Messiah takes a very close victory over Sound of Metal. It's a tough call for me because I found Sound of Metal to be genuinely innovative, and it also freaked me out because I couldn't always separate my own tinnitus whine from the movies, which is fun. But Judas and the Black Messiah was incredible, aside from it being standout as far as narrative pacing and all the usual storytelling elements are concerned. It leveraged an incredible cast who pulled off stellar standalone performances in an incredible way as an ensemble.
My pick for Best Picture is Sound of Metal. I saw it pretty recently, and I thought it was really great. I think it has all the things that they want in an Oscar movie right now. If it doesn't get a technical sweep with all the sound stuff they did, that made it really feel like you were like going through this guy's experience going deaf. I thought it was a really cool, super engaging. It's hard to engage someone in a movie like that with no dialogue, or as little dialogue as it had. So yeah, Sound of Metal is my pick for Best Picture.
My choice for Best Picture this year, it's kind of hard. I really have been going back and forth on it, but I think I would have to say Minari. I just thought the story was really moving. I thought the acting and everything about it was really nice. It was really well paced, and it was just a really beautiful movie to watch. Sound of Metal is a very close second. I think just everything about that movie was a really visceral experience, and it really draws you in. And last, I just want to say Nomadland's going to win because it has Amazon money behind it, but it's not a good movie, and I didn't enjoy it at all.
I have not seen any of the Best Picture nominees. So, based on how they sound from their name, Sound of Metal sounds really cool. Sounds pretty cool. Sounds like it's a fun romp, as far as I can tell. So, that sounds pretty sweet. Minari, that's a fun sounding name. That one could also win. That's about what I think.
My Best Picture pick for this year has got to be Kong and Godzilla. I didn't see that flick, but I didn't see very many movies this year at all. Especially not any that were nominated for anything. But people talked about that movie a lot. It seems like they loved it, so that's the one for me.
My favorite movie of 2020 is hands down Palm Springs. Nothing came close. I saw it at the beginning of the year. It was also really fitting because it was like right when we were all starting quarantine, and so it was really kind of like the perfect movie for that time. And I can't think of another movie I've watched this year that I've rewatched and just stuck with me as much. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. Andy Samberg and Christina Milioti just completely knock it out of the park. It's such a great twist on a classic trope, being Groundhog Day. Loved it. Watched it multiple times this year.
But one movie from 2020 that I'll call my favorite because I absolutely adored it and I think it deserves far more recognition, and I hadn't heard of it until I watched it about a month ago, was The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I would say that this movie was just about perfect. It was quiet and powerful when it needed to be. It was really goofy in a really endearing way. There's this whole side plot about college students writing a sci-fi play about sperm, and it's beautiful. But more than any other movie I've seen recently, it made me feel like I personally was along for the ride through flawless dialogue and such a solid attention to detail that I think other movies didn't even come close to.
Favorite movie of 2020 gotta be Sonic the Hedgehog, because it's the last movie I saw in theaters in the before time. So, that's that.
Favorite movie of the year. My favorite movie of the year is based around an entirely fantastic performance by one of the most important actors of our generation, Sacha Baron Cohen. My favorite movie of the year is Trial of the Chicago 7. Borat was dope. Trial of the Chicago 7, I'm a huge Aaron Sorkin dork. I thought Trial of the Chicago 7 was fantastic. I don't think it'll win Best Picture. I feel like those types of movies isn't what the Academy likes. Maybe Best Adapted Screenplay. I thought Trial of the Chicago 7 was fun and weird and charged for today's time. I thought it was great.
Favorite movie that I saw this year? Moonstruck. I saw other movies. Spider-Verse, that was pretty good. Saw that for the third time. I saw... What else did I see? Not sure what else I saw. Palm Springs, that was sick as hell. That was a good movie, but I'm still going to say probably best movie I saw this year was Moonstruck.
If I could add a person to any category, it would be Tom Hanks in News of the World for Best Actor. I know Tom Hanks gets nominated for Best Actor all the time, so that's not very fucking interesting. But that movie was tight. Westerns, when they're good, are so tight because they should be boring. If you describe them, they're boring movies. But that was a good one. And he's like kind of he plays a very interesting role. He's just Tom Hanks as always, but that's fucking amazing. So that I don't think you would win, but the shout out would have been appropriate, I think.
I would add Delroy Lindo to either of the lead actor or supporting actor categories. His performance in Defy Bloods, I saw it came out at the beginning of the year, so I think it kind of got lost in the shuffle of the rest of the year. But it's a tragedy he didn't even get nominated, because I thought that was just such a earth-shatteringly amazing performance in a movie with an amazing cast. He stood out so much, and it just felt like a breakout role for him, and I wish he got more love for it.
So I think Another Round deserves to win Best Director by a long shot, but I think it should also be considered for Best Picture of the Year. I mean, this was a 10 out of 10 delight for me. I thought it was so skillfully and artfully done from start to finish. I don't know what the noise that I made at the end of the movie when the jazz ballet paid off was, but I do know that it was one of pure joy.
If I could add any one nominee to a category, it would be to take the Best Animated Feature category and add Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters. It was robbed in 2007, and every year that it is not nominated in that category, it doesn't even have to win. It just has to earn the recognition of the Academy. It's an entirely animated film, and it deserves respect. Talking box of French fries, evil exercise machine. I'm stoned.
If I could add one nominee to any category, it would have to be Nicolas Cage from the movie Moonstruck. God damn it, I can't say it without laughing.
My favorite movie of all time is Catch Me If You Can, the Steven Spielberg film, because it has the three things that I really like in a major motion picture. Leonardo DiCaprio being a little rapscallion, Tom Hanks being incredibly put upon and exhausted, and a super unnecessary DC Comics reference.
The most honest answer I can give is Kung Pao Enter the Fist, Steve Odekirk's 2002 Kung Fu parody. There are funnier movies, there are more clever parodies, but nostalgia is a big factor here. I must have watched this movie dozens of times with my friends and my brother. The jokes from it still pop into my head all the time. I think the humor holds up better than lots of other stuff from the early 2000s. One day in college, I made my girlfriend watch this with me one day, and when it was done, she turned to me and she said, "Yeah, you make sense as a person now, and we're still together."
Favorite movie of all time is probably, this is a hard question, it's probably either Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, just because it hits all the notes for me, and the directing and acting and everything is so good, or Terminator 2. That is like the first R-rated movie I ever saw, I think. It fucking rips. It's so good. It's so good for all the reasons that it's good. So one of those two. You pick.
My favorite movie of all time has and will forever be Blade Runner. I just love everything about it. Harrison Ford's my favorite actor of all time. That might be my favorite performance of his. But, Rutger Hauer as Roy Batty is also so amazing. And I think the aesthetics of that movie have really influenced my taste and the kind of movies I really like. And I think the last 10 minutes when Roy Batty's chasing him through the apartment building, leading to the Tears and Rain speech, is 10 of the best minutes of a movie ever made. It's always been my favorite.
For favorite movie of all time, that's tough, mainly because I don't have one. I don't really think of movies that way. But if we have to pick a favorite, I am a man who likes sci-fi, so I'm required legally to say Blade Runner. Otherwise, I like other movies too. They're nice, they're fun, I have a good time. I would say Blade Runner. Okay. Or Moonstruck.
This question's too hard. There's too many movies, there's too many people. So I'm just gonna rapid fire. First thing that comes to mind. Sorry, apologize in advance. Number 1, Seamus is probably in this video because he's making it and he cares about movies. Baby Driver. Because it's not Edgar Wright's best work, but I could see Seamus being actually, there's things about it that are very blah, blah, blah. And also, being compared to any work of Edgar Wright is pretty solid. So, congratulations, Seamus. 2, Brandon. Knives Out. Funny voices, obviously. Done. 3, Jacob, Goofy movie. Looks like he could be in it. Done. 4, Dan. Whatever the first Lion King sequel to come straight to VHS was. That's Dan. No explanation needed. And I think that's everyone.
Dan is Swingers, but not the whole movie, just that one scene where Jon Favreau gets the girl's number and then calls her answering machine like 15 times. Brandon would be Falling Down, just because I think he's a rational man constantly on the point of losing it. Jesse's easy. It's Van Wilder, maybe Waiting. Just Friends, possibly. Really just any Ryan Reynolds movie. And Jacob is Boat Trip, and I don't think I have to explain that one.
I mean, Seamus is basically Angela's Ashes.
The movie that best captures Jacob's vibe is My Octopus Teacher, because I know Jacob has spent a lot of time on a boat. Seamus, I'm going to go with a film that I haven't seen, nominated for the Best Animated Short Film, If Anything Happens, I Love You, because I love him. Jesse. I think Jesse's vibe is captured perfectly by Borat's subsequent movie film because he's funny. And for Brandon, I'm going to have to go with The Father. I haven't seen this movie. I don't know what it's about at all. But I do know that Brandon is the closest out of all of us to getting married.
Uncut Gems really reminds me of Brandon Garner, because every time I hang out with that dude, it's just 2.5 hours of anxious discomfort.
Favorite movie that captures each person. Jacob Rubin is Inception, because there's a lot of information that he's going to give you, but if you hang out, it's a fun time. For Jesse, School of Rock. He's a teacher. Sorry, Jesse. For Seamus, God, what's the fucking movie I had for you? I had it! I'm going to scream! What movie did I say? It was 'Cause It's Long. Oh, yeah, of course, I know what I said. For Seamus, the movie is Last Jedi, because when the story is supposed to be over, it's actually still going. For Dan, the movie is the Tim and Eric movie, because I have trouble telling when he's being genuine and when he's being ironic.